This video shows the process involved in modelling a complex geometry building and surrounding buildings so you can correctly emulate the shading calculations on your target building. So the model we're using here is a typical Revit project. Effectively you can see lots of different levels and different geometry. So effectively when we go into the MEP Works site plan program, we're going to specify each point of this geometry to build up the vertex, so that we can then accurately create the geometry on the building. So effectively we would DXF out all of the floor plans as normal, set up the model in MEP Works as normal, and we'd also introduce the site plan as well. Now Revit may well have a site plan, and exactly the same applies if you're sourcing your drawings from AutoCAD. If for example you have the roof space of the layout, what you would effectively do is take a copy of perhaps your roof space drawing. You would then zoom out and then you would XREF the surrounding site plan so the origin is in the same place. So you'd basically need to move the origin of the site plan to relate to your building that you're doing the analysis on. So let's say the outside corner of this building here. XREF the site plan in. You then get your site plan with your target buildings that you're going to model using the same origin. And you would then save that as a DXF file and use that as the basis of the site plan in the MEP Works program. We go into MEP Works. This is the building program. To go to the site modeling program, you select Tools, Site Plan, and then here's one that's already existing. You would then go to the File menu and open Site Plan, and that would present you with your layout showing you your target building and all your surrounding buildings. So what we would need to do first is to simulate our target building. Highly likely that this is going to cast a shadow on itself. So you would select all the point heights of the target building. So this was built up using the basic C shape on the building. And then we did the atrium area by changing the heights, plus the plant rooms. So to describe this angled atrium area that we looked at on the front in the Revit model, you would then select Edit, Graphically, and you then specify the point height prior to entry. So I'm going to make that 8 meters. I'm going to make that 8 meters. I'm then going to put the pitch on the angle and make that 12 meters. That's going to be 12 meters. Switching off my orthogonal so I can do the non-orthogonal line. That's it, 12 meters. Then we go back to 8 meters. Click on the start point. So that's created that shape. We then have our other building. Let's say for argument's sake, the main body of the building is 25 meters high. We have a service tower 30 meters high. Edit, Graphically, I'll do the basic building first. They're all going to be the same. Click around the boundary of the space, the building being shown. And of course I could switch my orthogonal back on. Then I do the service tower, Edit, Graphically. I'm going to make that 30 meters. Clicking around the shape. I can describe. Then we can see these other two buildings. On the option of display, it's a good idea to show the information box so you can put everything in context so you can see the northing arrow so you know what's happening. And then going to display shadows, that presents the shadows of not only your target building on itself, but also your other buildings. Adjusting the months, adjusting the hours of the day. You can actually look in it more detail on the facade shadows by going to the display option, selecting facade shadows. Select the facade of interest. That presents you with a facade showing any shading devices and all of your windows. You then can run the analysis automatically by running step hours. This will take you over the 24-hour period and run the analytic. So that's the courtyard of the Revit model showing the shadows. Or if I wanted to look at the effect this building is having on this facade, Edit, Display, Facade Shadows, select that facade, near the middle, that shows you that facade of the building, which again, if we relate to the Revit model, is this facade here. So we're basically taking the site plans and the geometry files, lining them up, and then tracing around the boundary of each obstructing building to generate our shading. And that will then affect the results that you get. So when you exit from here, and then move into the energy program, the program will then start updating the results based on the revised shadowing arrangements. So you'll then get the new sets of results in the energy program. So that's a description of how you would actually handle a complex geometry model and site shading.